Hello and welcome to Unisave Zero to Hero tutorial series. My name is Jirka and today I'm gonna show you the two example projects that come with the Unisave asset. So here in Unity we talked about backend folders, and there are two backend folders for the two examples that are currently disabled. So let me go to plugins, Unisave, and here is the examples folders, and we have the chat example and the login via email example. Let's first start with the chat example because it doesn't use the database. Let's open up the scene. When I opened the scene, you could have seen that the backend upload has automatically triggered, because now you can see that the example backend folder, this one, is now amongst the enabled backend folders. This is because this backend folder is set up in such a way that whenever you open the example scene, it automatically gets uploaded, so that you don't have to do anything that's special for the examples. That's not what your usual backend folders would do. However, what it means for us is that we just open the scene and we click on play, and we can directly try out the example without doing any other thing. So this is a simple chat, so I'm gonna be named Jirka and I'm gonna join some general channel. And it takes a while before it connects. It shows I've joined the room. I can say hello, and the message is in the room. If I go to the development console, we can see here there are requests that have come to the Unisave backend. There is the first request to join the room and the second request to send a message. We can open up the detail and we can see the arguments. It's the channel name, the nickname, and the message. So you can see that it took a while for these two requests to be handled, but this is because the first requests that come to the server have to start up the worker, and it goes through a cold start and it takes a while, but then now it's running. If I just message anything, it's way faster, it's pretty much immediate. So that's the chat example. And the second example is the login via Unisave, login via email example. So let me open up this scene instead. And a lot of things are happening. So first of all, we have the TextMesh Pro importer, because the example uses TextMesh Pro, so we need to import these essentials. Okay, that's it. Close this tab. And then we have these backend folder dependencies window, which tells us that we have to enable the email authentication module. That's the little library. You can see it in the backend folders. It's over here, email authentication module. You can see that the upload has been triggered, but it has crashed because it's missing this module, so we have to enable it. Click on enable all, and the upload is triggered again, and now it succeeds. Okay, so here we have the scene. Let's just clean up this mess and run it. Okay, so this is like a sample login screen. We could try logging in, but there are currently no users registered. Again, you see that it takes a while because it's doing a cold start because of the different backend. If we go here, we can see that the login request was sent. These are the credentials I put in, but it says it did not succeed because there is no such player with such a password. So we first have to register. So let me clear this and go to the register panel. Let's register as johndoe.com with some password and agree to the privacy policy and register. Okay, so now we are in the game, sort of, and here you can see the document that represents the player that we've just created, John Doe, with password shouldn't be null, but it's null because when you fetch it from the server, there is a layer that filters it out so that the client doesn't see the password. It's only reserved for the database on the server side. You've got some information about the last time it was logged in, but most importantly, we have the number of collected stars. This is like your score. So whenever you click on the star, it sends a request to the server that a star was collected, and it updates the player's state. And then when we log out, we have now 4 stars. When we log out and we log in again, johndoe.com, login. So we are back in the game and we can see that we have 4 stars. We can see the request that we have made. So after we registered here, there has been a request to download the player information. So we've got this document. You can see that the password is missing. So That's why it was null when it was displayed on the client side. And when we collect star, this method gets called on the server side with no arguments, and it returns the updated player entity. And we called it a couple of times because we collected a few stars, then we clicked on logout, then we did a login again, and lastly, after the login, the player was downloaded again, the player data. So now we can go to the database, you can click on this green development database button. And here we can see that a collection of players was created. There is one player in here, and if we open it, it's the John Doe with the password. You can see that the password is actually hashed on the server side, so that you don't know what I've typed in, even though you can see the database, so it's secure. And you can see the number of collected stars. If we go back into the game and we click on the star, it gets incremented to 5. And if we go back to the database and refresh it, it's 5 again. What we could also do is we could change it to 50 and hit save. And then when we collect another star, 6, 7, you can see that in the document here the collected stars is 52, which is correct. The stars 7 here, this in the user interface. So there's a little mistake in the UI code. It's not intended to be changed from the database. So you can see in the database, if I refresh it, we indeed get 52 stars, but here the UI is sort of lagging behind because we changed something unexpectedly. If we log out and log in again, then we get the proper 52. So yeah, you shouldn't really change stuff in the database if your code is not built to handle that. So that's the example, and that's all from me, and thank you for listening.